coming here has been enlightening, and I felt at the time probably we had actually derailed from what we actually came here to discuss. Because personally, I do not see any reason why Nigerians, and especially Nigerian youths, should think that the salvation of the nation lies within the two major political parties, right? Because what we've witnessed with the PDP and what we have witnessed, or what we are witnessing with the APC, has actually demonstrated that, come on, we just have to sit down and look up to some other means to rescue or salvaging the nation, right? And that is my message here. And because these guys that are opinion molders are the ones with the money, they've kind of like engaged or forced, let me say, entertainment, right? They've made us so preoccupied with things that actually have the least effects on our consciousness, to the detriment of those things that actually bother us, right? So I want us to look into that as a way of forging a national consensus.
Yes, happy birthday to the celebrants. And yes, if I did not pick anything here, I actually picked the fact that no matter how useless youth might be, we just need a backbone, like a mentor who will tell us this is how it is done, or just put us through, and then maybe at the end of the whole thing we might not be that useless. Thank you.
One of our struggles those days, at least the one with Tembi Okuma, and myself and you were distributing Pronaco leaflets at a photo. I remember the guy told us that day that NANS is a junior form of PDP, and that he wouldn't take anything except that was PDP. Umelo was Senate president then, and I won't forget, that was the day I lost hope in NANS. And I can tell you, since that day, I never stepped my legs into any NANS program. But today, I'm having a rethink, because maybe this is just another eye opener that I've left something. You know, if I had been part of them to some extent, perhaps maybe we would have been able to change the face, even though the Egbons that finished in 1992 are still parading themselves as NANS presidents and what have you. But yeah, decaders. Yeah, but if we continue to leave them there, we'll also regret at the end of the day, because they continue to groom voice. You know, when you find anybody that claims to be a NANS person, it's either he's a cultist. If he's not a cultist, he's a drunkard or a science student, like they call them. You understand? So I'm going to go back into NANS and see how I can also support them, to organize and stop agonizing, like we used to say. And thank God, before I left UNILAG, we have the Progressives, and I think that's the only existing ideological group in the University of Lagos. So I'm still happy that I'm still in contact with them and I'm still working with them. But I need to go, brother, and join them back. Thank you for this eye opening. Thank you, Module. You're always there. Oh Lord. Happy birthday once again, Mr. Femi. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, oh Lord. It's nice to be here again and seeing everybody. But really, I would like to say two things. One, to
man is oh Lord's birthday, mate.
Happy birthday to you, to my brother. One, to Comrade Ayo. Now, it's amazing for those of us who align ourselves to parties, also being a member of APC, it's amazing that all of a sudden people like you I expect to see at the BOT level of that party. People who do not even know about the ideology of the party you belong in just carry placards, say I'm in support of Boy. At the end of the day, when they go and negotiate at Abuja, they are the ones there. And then they do not even give room for young people to come up, because the BOT members will actually have people who are under 35 too. So the issue now for me, it's not about youth getting involved in politics. It's about credible people getting involved, canvassing for credible people into politics or into governance processes. I'm not an advocate of young people. Someone was advocating for Lajotoye to me. I'm sure. I said, when Lajotoye becomes president, for instance, are you sure we won't be talking about the next discussion will be about having? No. I'm not saying he will do badly, but I'm saying that I hope when Fela Adutoye becomes president, our next discussion wouldn't be saying, "Oh, we need a president with a PhD, no longer a president with a master's." It's not about the age; it's about the credibility of the individual, the person. So basically, I'm ready to have you as my president, in as much as you pass. Who says Falana will do well as a Nigerian president? Who says really? He may do it as an activist or as a comrade of what he's doing now, but he may not necessarily do it as a president. Fela Adutoye may do better as a House of Assembly member in Lagos State. Yes, representing the Victoria Island constituency. No. That's the reality. I'm not saying he wouldn't do well, but then enough of the clamor of saying young people should vie for offices. He disappointed us. Our clamor should be about, we had this discussion in Abuja, should be about young people canvassing for credible representation, which is very, very key. But you know, to ask, what are you doing about mentoring young people who are after you, who look up to you to get involved into governance? Did you just get there and leave the stage and then you didn't bring up people to queue up beside you to get into the process? Thank you.
Let me just do. Okay, you too. Yes, I want to try this out. It's a very good thing to.
We will extend your investigation.
Yeah, seriously, I won't really appreciate myself if I wasn't here. It would have been so dishonorable to what I stand for. Happy birthday to Shego Olaweye, Olo, and Pastor Femi Emmanuel. I've learned so many things here today. Seriously, I want to appreciate you, Comrade Ayo, for being here. And seriously, learning under your feet is another thing that would embolden some of us who, in a way... So when we talk about the pen and the sword and all that, so the point where he brought the internal democracy thing was where I was thinking you would really trash out properly, and then we look into it if the pen really solved that problem or the sword took the stage. I think that would be discussed after, because of the whole thing. But I just want to put this message out to youths that the very key thing, and that was what I discussed with some youths in Delta States, that the only problem we have is no one wants to sacrifice anything. We do not want to sacrifice. I liken Nigeria to a pig in the mud. That is the natural habitat of a pig. Swampy area. That's the natural habitat for a pig. And so that is Nigeria. So, but the owner of the pig, which is Nigeria, needs to take that pig home because he needs dividends from that pig. The owner wants to get pork. The owner wants to get leather. The owner wants to get several things from that pig. But there is no how you want to take that pig out of the mud and you will not get stained. Staying in this time around is not saying we must compromise. It is saying we would have to suffer. We would sacrifice. But how many of us are ready for that sacrifice? And this is the message to every Nigerian youth, that this is the time for us to roll up our sleeves and get to work beyond social media rantings. In fact, it is an height of idiocy for us to now have what we call social media activism. It is idiocy. What do you mean by social media activism? It is another height of being foolish. Let me put it that way. And so when people talk about, let me also correct that, saying activists, as in you rode on the horse of activists into politics and all that. Activists are politicians. It is just that we do not do the bourgeois politics. I'm a politician, I tell people, and they say, no, you are an activist. Okay, better still make it political activist. No, I play politics. What we did at the University of Benin with the reinstatement and all that happened, in fact, one of the fastest reinstatements, whether 4 days or 5 days. It was pure politics. We played politics with ASU, Uniben, ASU National. We played pure politics. So when we talk, it is just the definition of politics in this society. I believe that politics is a game. I believe it's a business. But it is a game and a business of ideas and not lobbying. And okay, don't let me put the lobbying and not negotiation in that way. I think we need to explain that after this. Thank you very much.
So I want her to quickly, make our own, drop our She has been trying to convince me for how many years now?
Okay, basically, it's actually a very wonderful opportunity to be here with like minds. It's always so fulfilling for me. I feel so relaxed, being with youths of like minds, where we rub our idea, we rub minds together, express ourselves and everything. And I feel, I think this opportunity should come up regularly, where we actually discuss and rub minds together. And once again, on this pedestal, I actually meant Olo Trumoyo, the guy here, and it's been a very and it's been a very, very wonderful relationship with Olo. Olo is an epitome of humility. I've learned so much about humility from Olo. He's so loving. He creates time for you. Even if you call him 100 times, he would be ready to listen to you. And he is. It's like that. Particularly, I've learned to be extra humble from Olo. Are you serious? Maybe it's my calls that hold him back. So Olo. So on this note, Olo, yes, wishing you a happy birthday. Feel the blessings. You remind me a lot about Dakpolon Yomi. I see a young Dakpolon Yomi in you. Very selfless. Unassuming, free with everybody. Dakpolon Yomi is the publisher of Premium Times, and I'm wishing you a very happy birthday. I hope by next year we'll be able to celebrate with your wife and children and your child and children and your twins and everything. And also a happy birthday to Pastor Femi. Wishing you love, happiness, and joy this new year. Thank you so much for your time. And one last thing, I'll be running. Will you support me? That's my question.
Are you running?
I will be running. Will you support me?
Will you support me?
We are.
Are you set?
We will support her.
Will you support me?
Yes, I would.
We really have my own support. If she's running in a marathon, you support her by doing an ambulance along.
So many people will run on social media. So many will run on social media.
It's my birthday, mate. I want to have birthday to you. I want to also say thank you to everyone that said something. So I really appreciate your depth of thoughts. And sincerely speaking, two things I want to say. One, I have a national platform called Youth Arise Conference. We go to campuses. Even though I'm more of a leadership public speaker and consultant, but I want to say that right now political leadership is also very important. And I want to appeal to everyone that I've listened to today that anytime I call on you to come and let us reorientate these people, I'll be very glad if you do me the honor of helping to solve this national issue together. Only one person can do it. If we all contribute in a very little way, I'm so sure that we'll have youths that will have our line of thought. Secondly, I think our generation has not defined what we want to be remembered for. A generation came, they fought for independence. A generation came, they discovered oil. A generation came, it was industrialization. But sincerely speaking, with this madness of makeup artists, of entertainment, of so many things, we have really not defined what we want to be remembered, what we want to be remembered for. So that is what I want us to postulate that.